Welcome to Dungeon Master, where we are going into a surreal dungeon next. The dungeon of the avant-garde. It is a dungeon that not many have been through, except for us, in another moment that was Dungeon Master. But we booted up these seriously interesting points are showing up, and we see ourselves in the background, looking at a camera. It's Dungeon Master in all his glory. We must now watch a film by Man Ray and continue into the dungeon that is being created before us in the spectacle of light and shadow. That is the Krispy Kreme within us all. The special effects of yesterday become the animated avant-garde of a later year. Now, I think these are beautiful, beautiful, what Oscar Fishinger would call optical poems. And I think that with the dead Telluritis in the background, Dungeon Master, you've really outdone it with these images. I mean, it's like, what could I pick that would be better than this? How does it get any better? I'm at the carousel and then suddenly I'm on the spider wampus. Anyway, I want to go further down that corridor. I want to see what those lights lead to. Maybe there's a way through this dungeon. Maybe the bramble bush requires the ultimate in fascination. There is something coming up, and that is not a commercial, but it is quite a sight to behold. And I'm not quite sure what I'm looking at, but it looked like a witch midget. Sorry for the bad word. Bad word. Oh, I would get killed for that in another lifetime. I forgot that was a bad word. Would you please blurt that out of Dungeon Master? We're not gonna take two or anything, but just blurt out all the cuss words of Dungeon Master. Fuck, just take them out, man. Alright, so we've got this towel and it's going around the wrapper, and then we get the spinning car top. Yeah, it's a fan, it's a light, it's a box, it's the light is bouncing off of it. The light is so surreal when it touches the dark. It's like leaving behind the ecstasy of the earth entire. Its Roman quadrones to be the only link to time or fascination. And this is a really weird show. I've got to go past it, but I like that dungeon. It was getting really real. Like, the dungeon was getting really real. But I must go back to Dungeon Master and say, do you really think you'll get this one to work? And Dungeon Master would say, well, we're on to a different frame. Hopefully they don't throw us at the same old French cinema pure at us, because we need to see these films for masterclass, and teacher's not going to be happy if we somehow foible the ball. But I see the credits. And oh, so credits be so avant-garde that they, without the credits, would not be the avant-garde that it is now. Oh, I'm roasting waiting for this film. That's why they make this scene so long. It's taking 30 seconds to get past. Oh, there it is, the starfish. The starfish, I love this kind of cinema. It makes no sense, there's no story. No end to beginning, just a twirling. Oh, it's a starfish, right, a starfish. We saw that one coming, right, didn't we? Didn't we, boys? We saw that starfish coming. And oh, how it did greet us all. And then we walked along the gentle path, coming to a great distance in the forest where the looking couple is about to enjoy a honeymoon on the brigadoon of everything that's been released to them through the years. And it's great to see you again, Mildred. Can I have a cigarette from you? Oh, I don't know if I'm going to give you a cigarette because, well, this is a weird music video, man. I was over there for a minute, now I'm over here. Well, should I even look? No, I can't look. She's too pretty. Oh, shit. Dun, 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 dun. I'm liking this music in the background. It reminds me, Dungeon Master, of that time you were hanging out with those, Satan worshippers. Yes, I remember that. We were playing a game of strip poker, and I was a strip mine Inca. Anyway, I'm about to look into this hallway of doom, or is it a starfish at the end of this? Or how did we get here? Or what channel are we on? And how could we be watching anything like this? This is more than absurd. This is phantasmagorical. This is tripped out, dude. Has anybody seen this Dungeon Master here? I see another reason to skip to the next. Can we maintain it through the dungeon of the avant-garde? Can we see into the mysteries of the chateau? And can we read in French? Because if we can't, we have to read the subtitles on the bottom. Subtitle, Man Ray. You keep watching these films by Man Ray. This don't seem... Hang on. I borrowed this disc from Masterclass Library. It's got all these artists on it. If you can see, Payne Leave, Vorkapich, Flory, Weber, Watson. And this is still getting started. And it's been 2 minutes since the credits have been on. Now here we go. There's the hand that rocked 1,000 rolling dice. And there are trees on the hill. And there's a cabin in the frenzy.
It's 11 o'clock.
And there's a mixture on the wood. And sometimes you just let go of that one thing that you're trying to have for the moment, and then you lost it. And then you thought you had it again, and you reordered it, and then you lost it again. And then you reordered it, and you had it, and you lost it again. And that was like the story of my 7th Seal Criterion Collection disc that got into my Masterclass library. But this is also part of the Grand Dungeon. Get it? The Grand Dungeon? And if you don't believe me about the episodic dilemma that I'm having of building the Grand Dungeon, doesn't even take place until I'm 3/4 of the way to the end of Dungeon Master, which is still a long way off. This is Dungeon Master 59. Please select which way to go. Okay, we will now open the shade. Now we're going. Alright, the car is going. I'm sorry, I didn't want to go that way. The audience picked the other way. There you go. Much better. Much better. Now we're going the right way. Wait. Should we go this way? Whoa. That looks like... Hey, can we stop and go to the bathroom? I gotta go all of a sudden. I know we're only 5 feet from home, but... Oh, this is getting interesting, because now it's the vehicle that's the main design, and this music is totally in rebellion to the Satanic Incorporated of the Satanic Dead Tell Your Riders mode that we all get into sometimes. Sometimes it's good to be a Satanic Dead Tell Your Rider. Now this guy's driving forward on a road, and it looks like he's passing this chimney pipe of some kind, and there's all this hushly fush, and then this guy's going up with the hula quadrant. Maybe we should turn the tables and get a different shot. Maybe it is I, Dungeon Master, who remember not traversing this way, but knowing it be necessary to traverse it important, and that the sky is almost the limit, but I can't see beyond the destiny rising of the further administration of those that rest with the commoner and his sort. Now, I'm going to take you to a reason the camera's bumpy on my end and on their end. Mine is a lantern that I hoist into the light and take pictures of the dungeon as it goes. And last time we had a drive level that was Escape from Thunder Mountain, and yet it's a Facebook exclusive. We want to make this a YouTube ideal. This is the ideal YouTube masterclass, that you can show these kinds of clips and that they are all public domain is true, but that you have to go through them and make sure that your camera's not shaking the same direction as theirs for a real trippy effect. And I'll tell you what you can do. You can walk up to this house and see if this hooded figure is there for me. And really, if we look above it all, further up into the heavens, we see the gates of iniquity guarding our path, and that is really a giant forklift, and I've got to see what is this movie about? Do you know, Warrior? Yeah, I know what this movie's about. It's about this guy who gets really mad at his sister, so he goes on a long runaway spree. So he runs away, gets all the way to Mexico, and then he forgets his passport. And so all he can film is across the border. And this is man-raised delight, because it's post-apocalyptic Mad Max in a few minutes, and I'm liking me some avant-garde cinema, yeah? Yeah? Who here thinks this is boring? Boring. And who here thinks this is really amazing? Amazing, amazing. Yeah, well, you'd have to be a kid to appreciate the mundanity of this scene. Geez, kids always getting entertained by anything. I could say anything I wanted and some kid would laugh. Jeez. Well, we don't only cater to the underlings of the village of the damned, but that the younglings had suffered many great iniquities. We are back to a strange cubist patterns of buildings, and then suddenly, button pressed. That's a freeze frame. Insert side B. Tape 2. Oh, I wanted to explain to you one thing about this film. I can't remember what it's called, but I think it's The Life and Death of 9413, a Hollywood extra. And I mean extra. Do you hear where I'm going with this? Now, these are names I don't recommend you not forget, except for Vorkapich. Don't forget that. Don't forget Flory. Yeah, and then this is about an extra on a movie set, 9413, the 9413 extra. And there's some movie star in it too. And I didn't really get the whole thing about who made this or what country it's from, or what country are any of these from. And I'm getting scared because the medium's not normally like this, and normally I can contain myself and contain the artwork in some kind of capitalist venture of spending money at the mall and just forgetting that I'm learning about where malls came from by watching this, and I can't handle it. The Industrial Revolution and art in the age of mechanical reproduction have given us this total slack to go forward and be it again. To be what we are. To be what we were. To be how it is. To be how you is. And who is that guy looking at? Is he looking across? If he looks at me, I swear I'm gonna freak out. 13:30. Look at the time. If you look at the time code while this is recording, we're already 2 minutes into this short film, and that these are all short films baffles me to the grid, and that we don't want to finish one, even though it's public domain. Links them all together on this. Of the Dungeon Masters, would you say this is the A, hardest, B, harder, or C, hard? And you'd be right, the answer is B, harder. It's harder to watch this than any other cinema, but it's my favorite kind and easy to watch. But that guy looks easy to watch, but that guy's hand is in his face, and they're doing something where he's drawing on him, and that's his permanent number, and it's like his own little mark of the beast that he's wearing. And I think we should all go in with a happy look on our face on the day the beast reconciles us to the Grail. Now, we go into Dungeon Master with only a few things to ask about the participation of this dungeon, and there's a survey. Press 1 if you like Dungeon Master very much. Boop. Press 2 if you think Dungeon Master's a badass. Boop. Press 3 if this is the grooviest dungeon you've ever come close to hearing with the music Satanic Incorporated in the background. And now we all feel better because the extra life this guy has of the Hollywood extra is about to lose his one. And that was still in this dungeon really surprises me. It looked like when it got going it would be champed out after a bit. But look at the way he climbs those stairs, and it repeats every time. It's like a glitch in a computer, but it's an older computer, a flatboard editor, telecine. All the things to watch early film on end. The way they edited it was straight off the strip, cut and paste. You have a movie. This is another movie, and I think it's an American film. I think we can qualify this as the least of my worries as actually an American freaking film. That it's freaking me out is just because of the way it's made. Now I could consider that no one grants you a weaker Warsaw than we have before the ideals of Warhol, and that he would get this from the video dub makeshift clinics for saving prints year-round. A print was turned to a VHS, and a VHS to a print. And that was how you turn one to the other, and other to that, by having one of each. And so, well, folks, it's been quite the entertaining row of films, and I'm really enjoying this, and I almost went blank screen for a minute. Silent moment for Dungeon Master's next survey. No kidding, I don't need any more surveys. That last one was a doozy, and guess what? Oh, in your face, Dungeon Masters. No Threshold Guardian, except the film itself being so hardcore. And no appointed level up because everything is meaningless. And that's an upside down Star Wars toy, I swear. I used to own that guy. I'm getting really trembly. I have to adjust the camera. But we're shaking. Shake, Sonora. Shake the conga line. He's got an interesting mask. And now, as we're bobbing back and forth, and the currency of the wake is level to its own understanding, then we gain with us the 2-minute warning, where we will seize film by the horns with the forlorn ones before our very mourns that we woke up and started a porn. But I didn't wake up and start on a porn. I don't even look at porn. What is that stuff? This isn't porn. This is a music video. It's a music video. Haven't you ever seen MTV? This is where MTV came from, man. Kenneth Anger, now read a book. Now, anyways, this is an interesting light picture. It surfaces the ground and detects everything in moto unity, which is the kind of robot automaton you need to wind the car and let it roll through Motor City like it's coming after you, baby. Like all the subways are empty and they're still flinging themselves onward. So, I don't know what the real ingredients to making a Dungeon Master movie really is. I mean, you need a Satanic Dead Telluride CD, check. You need a 20-minute duration span given by the Iranians, check. And suggestions by the Iranians, sorry. Bad translation. Oh, I'm embarrassed. Bleated out the wrong translation. And then one more thing we've got that you know we've got more than we've got, and we've got a lot, is more Dungeon Master in strange, unusual ways. And remember, the Dungeon Master works in unusual ways.